What's that?
I'm turning down the volume.
Sounds like Ice Cream Man. All right, we are live, and we welcome you in alongside Harry Mays, Eytan, Shander. It is the fourth quarter live with the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, courtesy of the great people at Fancred, we're back another week. And perfect timing, as soon as we come on, Gordon Hayward hits a wide-open three. Celtics took the lead with that. And I think that's pretty much representative of what's happened tonight. You've got this new-look Philadelphia 76ers team, Harry, that has the addition of Tobias Harris and the big fours now. Everybody wants to jam in some sort of awkward nickname. But the reality is Boston, good old Boston, rearing its ugly head again. Al Horford, Brad Stevens, just the usual suspects. You would think no Kyrie, no Baines, okay, an easy opportunity tonight. But once again, it's Boston. It's this mental hurdle of a team that the Sixers just can't. They should be blowing this team out tonight, and yet they're struggling at the end of the third.
Yeah, they should. I mean, you're right. I mean, you looked at what Horford and Morris and Rozier did in the first half as far as from a plus-minus standpoint. It was ridiculous. You know, I mean, Al Horford, he just loves playing against the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid. I can't stand him. I know he's a really good player, but when he got that technical in the first couple of minutes there, I thought that was going to be sort of a spark, you know, to get because the Sixers started off a little slow again.
Yeah.
You know, they come out of the gates a little sluggish. The crowd was a little bit muted tonight. And I don't know if it's just their fear factor of this, you know, team in green that puts the crowd on you know, sort of off their game. Maybe it's the weather. You know, it's kind of hard to get cranked up on just a miserable night, you know, to schlep down to the arena tonight. You know, cold, damp, miserable, slushy crap. You know, maybe it's hard for the fans to get really into it. I was a little. You remember last week when we did the Toronto game? Just the way the Sixers came out really surprised me, and they did it a similar way tonight.
Yeah. Now that Raptors game was at home, and that's what we thought too, which was going to be. You know, now you have the opportunity to come out against a big team in Boston. And listen, you're not in the playoffs yet. Seeding isn't locked in yet. There's still a lot of basketball left to be played in the sense of you still need to get over certain teams that are giving you problems or have given you problems in the past. It's not just because
Boston.
Right, exactly. And it's not just because Tobias Harris is here that you should feel much better about. You still have to go out and beat them. And there's you're right. There was something about the start of this game once again that frustrates you, where what more do you need, man? Like, what more do you need? It's on TNT. It's on TNT.
We have to talk about that, too, because I don't like – I want to know what you think of this players-only thing. I can't stand the pregame and the halftime and the postgame crew.
Oh, it's the Players Club, Bo.
Yeah, the Players Club. It's awful. It is. Now, the guys that were doing the game, they just talk too damn much. How about McHale dropping a dickhead? They're on a hot mic coming back from break, and he's talking about somebody. I want to know who he's talking about because everybody else on the broadcast agreed with him that whoever this is a dickhead.
Yeah, now,
yes.
So I was accused of dropping an F-bomb this weekend on Fox 29, and it was vetted out to prove that I did not. So somebody came after me accusing me.
What was it? What did you say?
I didn't say anything even remotely close to that. It was just somebody making it up, saying, Shander dropped an F-bomb, tagging 29, tagging 97. I get a text from our boss at 97.3 saying, why'd you drop an F-bomb? That was vetted to prove not true, but everybody in the world heard Kevin McHale drop dickhead. We all heard it. Now, is it the assumption that he's talking about Jimmy Butler?
I don't know, because Butler was on the camera shot showed Butler. I don't put two and two together there. I think they were talking about somebody during the break, and they had no idea what camera shot is being used at the time when they're saying that. I don't think it was connected.
Who do you think he was talking about? Les Moonves?
Les Moonves. No, I mean, maybe it was some some guy in the Celtics organization back in the day. You know?
Oh, see, I thought it was way more current.
Well, I mean, it's Craig Anthony and Kevin McHale are talking about it. So those guys played a long, long time ago.
That's true. Mark Wilson is one of the first. And again, you can jump in on the chat. There's also the Fan Live where you can go live with us on the video chat. We've had some people do that each and every week that we're on here. So there are many ways, multiple ways that you can interact with us. Mark agrees. Mark Wilson, this announcing is brutal. Thankfully, I have it on mute now since we're doing this here, Harry.
Yeah.
But, you're looking at this Boston
Celtics hit another three.
Well, I'm sorry?
Horford just hit another three.
Yeah, it's crazy how this transition has gone at the end of the third quarter, where the Sixers are working for misses, and the Celtics, at the other hand, are getting to the free throw line and hitting big threes.
Yeah, and they started
a terrible look by Embiid. That was just a missed shot.
They started off the second half with that 9-0 run to get back in the game and take the lead. And, you're thinking that maybe they pick up a little bit of momentum. It was just a few minutes later. I mean, Boston, had the game tied again. How about the fact that Joel Embiid has only been to the free throw line 3 times so far tonight?
It doesn't make sense that the Boston Celtics, as Horford is going to go to the line on the line right now, it doesn't make sense that the Celtics once again are dictating tempo and style of play.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's an easy answer right here to just blame Brett Brown, but my goodness, this team does not look any different. Like, here's the thing. From a physical DNA standpoint, this team is much different than what we saw last year in the playoffs that got beat by the Celtics.
Right.
But they don't look on the floor, Harry, much different than they did in those games against the Celtics. They look like they're struggling for baskets, whereas the Celtics are getting easier buckets. And then you make a great point. Why the hell is Embiid not pounding Al Horford down low?
Well, he started that in the early first quarter. That's what ended up getting Horford the technical, because he actually was playing really good defense and got called for the foul and then went off on the official. They gave him the tee. But they just defend Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. And I don't know what it is. Rozier's running around out there.
They do a good job on Ben.
Yeah, he sticks to people, and Ben's got him by what? How tall is Rozier? 6'4"?
Well, that's the thing. Embiid has Horford, and Simmons has Rozier. Yet they don't seem to be able to negate that or take advantage of that size.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact right now that you're looking at a 7-point deficit at the end of 3. And I know Hayward just committed the foul, so we'll see. Butler makes the first one. But my goodness, even if you're down 5 at the end of 3, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. No Kyrie and no bum-ass Baines, who seems to kill the Sixers.
Well, Baines, he always seems to play well against the Sixers, too. He turns into a 3-point specialist against the Sixers.
Right.
Like he did in the playoffs last year.
Chris agrees. Horford is too damn wily. There's something about Horford, man, that gives these guys problems, specifically Embiid, and they just don't go back after him. Mm-hmm. They sag on him from the 3-point line. We've seen that twice so far in this quarter. Texas, Harry. Okay, so given the fact that he still can't shoot, are you more bullish on Simmons or Tatum in the future? Well, I think Simmons, in the sense of that's the one real weakness that he has.
Yeah.
Not to say Jason Tatum's not a good basketball player. He's a hell of a basketball player, but he can still grow. Mark, exactly right about the roster being revamped but seeing the same flaws. Coaching issue. Now that
it's a lot of turnovers.
It's not like we're saying fire anybody, but my goodness, How can you look the same with a different team against the same opponent? It just doesn't make sense.
They got 13 turnovers tonight through 3 quarters. That's unacceptable.
Stephen Burke, hate this Boston team. We do too, man. It just doesn't make any sense that you're down 3 right now after 3 to a Boston team that should not be pushing you around this way. And here's the thing. We're talking about Joel Embiid, MVP. We're talking about Joel Embiid, and we love and we rave about Joel Embiid because he's great and he's got this awesome personality. But unless things change, this is his worst game we've seen in over a year. This is a terrible outing for him in which Alfred is dominating and he is not.
Yeah, and all the 3-point shots too. He hasn't hit one tonight. I mean, I know he's going to take 4 or 5 a game, it seems, pretty much every night. But he hasn't hit one. And, he's had wide open looks at 3. Remember how they closed out the first half?
Yeah.
They played really good defense. They gave up an 8-0 run, and then they scored 4 points. They come back 4-0, right, and then defended. I think it was Redick made a really good play, and the ball went off Boston. They get it back with 6 seconds plus to go. And the shot that they end up getting is Embiid wide open at the top of the key, and he missed it.
And that's what we got, too, from Gessler here. Embiid 0 for 4 from the 3, no presence under the basket. He's dribbled more in this game than the last 10. Let's go to the fan line, Harry, where Bill joins us live on the fan line. What's happening tonight, Bill?
Where is he?
Well, he's coming up. Our producer Laura is going to put him up right now. Yeah. It's always nice when people take the plunge, and there he is.
The good thing about this, hey, man, the good thing about this is he can't catch the flu from us coming on the Fancred.
That's very true.
Hopefully no flu. I didn't get a flu shot this year.
You did?
Never.
Oh, you didn't?
Never get it.
Yeah,
I never had.
It's population control. Don't get it.
I wanted to know what you guys are, your thoughts are in the Eastern Conference in general. It seems like the Celtics, their superstars are always a little bit banged up. Kyrie Irving hurt now. And does that really help what the Sixers can do in the playoffs, considering they've been healthy for the most part?
That's great.
Yeah, but then you look at it tonight, though. I mean, here they are without Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's not going to play till after the All-Star break. I saw that when he injured his knee against the Clippers the other night. That did not look good. I know they said it's like a day-to-day thing, but he was making a move in the lane and just landed wrong awkwardly on it, and you could see that the knee buckle.
Yeah,
and he's always dealing with injuries. They're stepping up and playing well without him. Now, can they win a 7-game series without him in the playoffs?
They can win a 7-game series, but the first
against the Sixers.
Well, no, probably not. Probably not. But again, they did last year. Now the Sixers are better, and they're going to be a tighter roster. You're going to see 7 guys in a playoff game, and 4 of those 7 guys are pretty damn good. So it's going to be really difficult to beat out this starting 5 7 games in a row when you're taking on a team. That's why Toronto's depth and Milwaukee, their defense really give you they give you legit concern. But as far as Boston, Harry, I mean, the Sixers are built right now to beat Boston.
Yeah, I know, and they got to prove it though. I mean, they're 0-2 already against them this year. The first night up in Boston, and then Christmas Day, they went to overtime and lost. That was with Jimmy Butler. That first night, that opening night roster, remember, I had Rocco in the starting lineup, Saric and Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, a long way from there, man.
We're in the starting lineup that opening night. How much has changed here over the last couple months with Elton Brand? It's really amazing.
Jason Colletti, Celtics know how to control Embiid. He doesn't have the great body language on the offensive end. If Sixers want to really push this, they'll have to get their offense through Jimmy Butler, which is right. I mean, at this point, I don't know. It would be nice, and Embiid is talented enough to turn things around and actually be the difference maker in the fourth. But I think at this point, Jimmy Butler is probably your best bet.
Joel looks really sluggish and sloppy tonight. Do you agree?
Yeah, he looks like how we feel.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Maybe he's got the flu. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not trying to get
going around. Bill from the fan line got it right. You don't do the flu shot. So maybe that's what this is.
Well, what's this about population control?
Well, yeah, that's the easiest way that you can control people is through mass, right? So if everybody's going to get the flu shot, then they put stuff in there. Makes you think.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah. It's out.
So it's really not a flu shot then.
It's not
It's
a flu
something
shot.
else.
It's a placebo. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Ed Kane, the coach, needs to get on their asses. I think Ed's onto something. Stephen Burke, it's like Boston's our kryptonite. And Barr comes back. Yeah, Jamie, Boston people will tell you they've played better, more cohesively without Irving.
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable because you were hearing over these last week or so up in Boston that there might be a fracturing in the locker room with the
Right.
veteran players and some of the younger players, and you had Morris light them up after they gave up that 28-point lead and lost to the Clippers. That was the game Kyrie got hurt in, and he lit them up after that game. And now they're coming out with a really inspired effort. Morris plays well against the Sixers too.
They have guys, and this is what's happened is they've had Bill Enright as well, no flu shot. See, they've got guys on this team that were successful against the Sixers last year in a setting in which Gordon Hayward was not there, nor was Kyrie Irving. So I think that you're right. The level of confidence from Aaron Baines to Morris to anybody on this team that's not named Rozier, right? That's not named Kyrie or Gordon Hayward is through the roof. Through the roof. Like they look at this team like we can do whatever we want to them. They don't have any fear with Embiid. They don't have any fear with Simmons. Now Butler and Tobias Harris are supposed to change that.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's got 16 tonight and 7 rebounds.
Right.
It's not like he hasn't come to play.
No,
I mean, you look at Tobias Harris
is not enough for him.
Tobias Harris is 0 for 3 from 3, and Embiid is 0 for 4. I mean, you're missing something there. Ben Simmons, 10 points. He's taken 6 shots. He doesn't get those shots. I mean, I know he had the one where the lane opened up and he went in and tomahawked it. It was a great play. But he doesn't get those easy looks at the basket, in and around in the paint like he does against other teams, against this team.
Yeah,
he's got to work really hard.
They do that. They have something down there. All right, let's go up to Boston. Chuck McKenney, as a lot of people know on the Fancred app, I'm sure Chuck will say the better half of the Boston crew up there. As they do the Celtics games, they go back and forth. Chuck, Harry Mays, I'm Eytan Shander. Good to have you on with us tonight, man.
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going?
Well, we're trying to figure this thing out, right? Because is there something that Brad Stevens has, like something like mind control or some sort of maybe there's some sort of blackmail that he has over Brett Brown?
It's the band you like, Eytan, Jedi Mind Trick.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Whatever the hell's going on here, the Sixers look great until they play the Boston Celtics, and now we look like the freaking Knicks.
I had zero confidence coming into this game, especially with Kyrie out, and I watched a little bit of Philly dismantle the Lakers, so I was a bit nervous. I thought the Tobias Harris move was great, but watching tonight, and just within the first 5 minutes, you could see Philly just seemed a bit out of sorts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turning the ball over a bit much. And then it's been Al Horford. I mean, he's been spectacular, right? Defensively on Embiid. He's had a fantastic offensive game. Gordon Hayward playing with a lot of confidence tonight, making up for – we're getting next to nothing from Rozier. Very few I think a couple buckets from Smart. And up until the start of the fourth quarter, there hasn't been much from Brown. But Hayward's been carrying the bench. And it's been Horford, and Morris has been well. So I'm a little bit excited now. I saw that run at the start of the third quarter by Philly, and I thought, here we go. Boston is notorious for falling back second or third quarters, but they fought back. And I'm not seeing a lot of fight from Philly.
I'm not seeing a lot of energy from Philly.
And so
you know what I mean?
We were talking about that, and you were going through like the stats with Harris and Butler, and I'm not feeling their presence.
Yeah, Embiid right now has been, I think, the most frustrating because there's just something about what Al Horford and Brad Stevens have been able to scheme up and do down low in which Embiid doesn't even look interested in taking this game down low. He looks like he's okay settling for decent looks from the outside And it doesn't make much sense when you look at the Embiid, especially recently, with his ability to really go down low and take advantage of some matchups. It's not like Al Horford.
Hit one.
I'm
he
sorry?
Hit one.
He did.
He hit one.
There you go. There was your one. We needed that.
We got to keep Chuck on here.
Off the Jonathan Simmons rebound. Yeah, Chuck, you need to stick around for a little bit, man.
Yeah, I'm here. As long as we're on top, I'm good.
Well, let me ask you, Chuck, because there was some stories coming out of Boston about possible fracturing in the locker room with some of the veteran players versus some of the younger players. Do you buy into that? Is that just a rumor, or is that substantiated in your view?
No, I mean we've seen it, right? I think the fact was we saw Morris and Brown have that sort of altercation in the middle of a timeout huddle against Miami. So we saw actual proof of that, and we had heard stuff about Kyrie kind of talking that some of the young players weren't buying in, and then with Morris's comments. So it's real. How severe it is, I'm not that sure. But I'd have to admit, watching those losses over to the both Los Angeles teams, I really felt like we had lost all this momentum that we had gained, and I started to think and convince myself that this team, it's just for whatever reason, isn't mentally tough enough. They're not together, and they're not tough enough mentally to kind of go to where I thought they would be, which would be in the finals this year. So I think there's definitely something there. It's some sort of chemistry combination, and there is a rift with guys. And unfortunately, I just don't think with all the talent now in the East, I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat down some of these other teams. Toronto and Philly, and the Bucks. The Bucks are right there too.
Yeah, and they got Mirotic at the dedeadline.
Yeah, I know. I just throw in the Bucks when they've been like the best team in the East all year, right? I mean,
right.
And they got a great shooter.
Another
Hayward. This is the best he's played against a team not named Minnesota. He's been unbelievable tonight.
I thought for a moment there was that moment in which Embiid hits the three, and then I think it was Rozier, right, who got the layup on Embiid. And then Embiid comes right back. It looks like he's going to turn the ball over. He gets it, and then he gets the bucket. It looked like Embiid's energy kind of came back, and he was revived for a minute. But then this has been the story all night, which has been these timely buckets by the Celtics to negate any type of energy. And I know Simmons hits the three, and you get – but there's partly to that as well, which is like as poorly as the Sixers have played tonight and as shitty as their energy has been for the majority of the game, you're still really close. Really close.
But look what's happening on the defensive end for the Sixers. How much Embiid has to move.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he's running around. He's tired.
No, look at Jaylen Brown layup. That Jaylen Brown layup, Joel Embiid went from underneath the basket to the 3-point line twice in that possession. Yeah. See, but now you got something here. Now you got something here. Right?
He's hit two out of three in the last couple minutes. Yeah, this crowd needs to give some energy to these guys here.
So what? Why is Philly's team so out of sorts? And they haven't played since Sunday, right? Have they been sitting home? Has there been
they played the Lakers. They played the Lakers on Sunday and blew them out.
Yeah. And I think you're dealing with a team tonight that's tired. It's almost like they're on the road. It feels like this is a road game kind of towards the end of a road trip. But then you're right, and that's what got us when we first came on tonight, Chuck, which was you have a national broadcast in TNT against, whether or not they like it, their biggest rival in the East, because they kicked the Sixers' ass last year. And they came out so sluggish with like little energy to the point at which they've been exhausted. But they've had 2 days off. We've seen this. It's almost like this team is better when they're up and run.
They play every other day.
Exactly. When they're out there and Embiid can get in rhythm, it seems like when they have time off, it really takes them a while to get back into it. Now, they're talented enough to hang around in games, but this shouldn't be to this point.
Do either of you guys have any issues with, and chemistry has been a big thing with the Celtics this year, with how they're going to fit, because I think earlier in the year we heard, I and maybe it was Embiid who had some comments when Butler was when Butler was there, and that he didn't feel like he was being featured. Now you're adding Harris into the mix. So do you feel like there's the potential for some sort of at least these guys feeling each other out, or could there be any friction?
Well, I'll say this. If Jimmy Butler hasn't blown it up now, I don't think he will. And Tobias Harris, I think, has been moved around so much, Chuck, that he's kind of just looking for a home.
Yeah, he's on his fifth.
Yeah, and I think there's something to that. Here's the thing. Embiid wants to be here. Simmons, for now, wants to be here. Tobias Harris wants to be here. So it's kind of like
Simmons wants to be here. How do you know that Simmons wants to be here?
Well, he wants to be here until Kendall Jenner agrees to marry him. And right now, Kendall Jenner wants the open relationship. So
we all.
Well, exactly.
Wow, I thought we had our own drama in Boston.
No. Trust me. Listen, this is actually a close game. Normally, Harry and I are on during blowouts, and it just turns into a talk show at that point.
Oh yeah, it turns into TMZ.
Yeah, no, we've had that same experience. Well, so there's no Kyrie tonight. Obviously, is it possible that Philly maybe overlooked the Celtics, knowing that the best offensive player?
If they did, that's awful. I mean, Kyrie or not, you can't come out and say, all right, we're just going to roll the balls out and beat the Celtics tonight. You haven't proven that you can beat them anywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I didn't expect much from the Celtics, and going into Philly without Kyrie, and considering that Boston has won the first, they won 2 games. They were both in Boston. Against the Sixers so far. So
opening day, Christmas Day.
Philly's gonna, they're gonna kick our ass tonight. But a Boston win tonight here without Kyrie, I mean, that's just a bad look for Philly. I mean,
no doubt.
We would be. I'm still waiting for a Philly run to close this game, but we'll see.
We will see, man. It's going to be. Go ahead, Aaron.
I was just going to go sort of off the court. Did you see? Is it Dale Davis is doing part of the pregame? Is it Dale Davis on that set?
Not Anthony Davis.
No. I think it's Dale Davis, and he took a shot at T.J. McConnell. Did you hear that?
Yeah, no, it was Baron Davis.
Oh, was it Baron Davis?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I saw that.
Chuck, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for hopping on with us tonight. Really.
All right, good luck.
Yeah,
did you see that? Baron Davis took a shot. He ripped him because one of the other guys said, well, he plays really hard. And he goes, anyone can do that.
Right. Baron Davis said that. Like, no offense to T.J. McConnell, but, anybody can do that. And,
right.
You do look at T.J. and you think, all right, like what's going on with a guy who's busting his ass, playing hard, things like that. Mike Keller, hey, guys, this is a lot of fun. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate you jumping on, Mike, and watching us and interacting with us. Barr asks, if the Sixers lose, does this make you really want to avoid the Celtics or get them in the playoffs?
Now I want to avoid them.
I still think that there's enough time. Here's the thing. I don't want to get to the end of the season and be defeatist yet, but I don't think there's enough time to really be a cohesive unit to argue that you can beat Toronto or Milwaukee for that matter. But I do think that there's enough basketball in the last third of the season in which you should be able to be a better team than Boston, Harry.
They've had good success, though, against Milwaukee over the last year or two.
I don't fear them in the playoffs. I just don't think they can beat Milwaukee in the playoffs. I think Milwaukee is a better version of where the Sixers are right now.
Really?
You give me a year, I don't think that there's many teams better than the Sixers, but they still have to play together.
Here we go.
And he's looking forward to bedtime. Ed Kane ran in there.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I doubt he plays against the Knicks in the final game before the break. I wouldn't doubt that they rest these guys.
When Embiid is tired, he hangs around the three-point line.
Yep.
Marcus Smart all over the place again tonight.
They got a bunch of really good, tenacious defensive defenders.
They do. Butler is here on the line with that 3.
Yeah.
So that could have given them the opportunity to take the lead if he hits all three. These are moments in which, like, you've hung around and you look at the box score and you think, all right, well.
And you haven't played well.
No, it hasn't been like J.J. Redick is one of the few, if like the lone bright spot tonight. I mean, Jimmy Butler has not had a terrible night, but you just need more productivity. If Joel Embiid is – here's the thing. If Joel Embiid is getting you 16 and you're 6 minutes left in the fourth, then Jimmy Butler or J.J. Redick or somebody should be at 25, 28, 30.
Well, see, I think we get a little bit used to playing teams, like we saw the Lakers. The last game we saw was the Lakers, where they put up 140 some odd points, and there was no defense whatsoever. Right. It looked like an all-star game.
Absolutely.
You kind of get lulled into that. I mean, this Sixers teams have been scoring, 117 to 120 pretty much every game. 115 to 120.
Right. And that's Boston the thing is
a better defensive team.
But that's what I'm saying is if you transfer that over to Milwaukee, who's an even better defensive team than Boston, then you start to look around and think that might give you even more fits. Hey, remember, just hit the fan line button, top of your screen there, top right of the screen, and you could jump in. We had Bill jump in the fan line live, and you can put your face up there, video chat with us, interactive chat, something that nobody's doing out there right now. This is a great way to continue to interact with Harry and I as this game gets tighter into the fourth quarter. Full timeout, Rozier hits the three. That's following Tatum three. So you went from 94-94, Jimmy Butler tying it up, to two straight threes. Now, what the hell happens in the middle of that?
Well, I want to know what the hell happened to your beard. What happened to your beard?
My beard?
Yeah. What happened to it?
Well, it was time for it to go, man.
Why?
I was tired of it,
No, you weren't. The girlfriend did it.
No, actually, I'd be honest with you. It wasn't that. Yeah. It wasn't that. What was it? I had somebody looking at it for me. It was an easy way to change my identity.
Oh, so you don't think you look like Shander as much without the beard?
I bought myself like 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Then, the scruff will return. Then I'll have to grow my hair out. So next week I'll have a full head of hair.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, and then the week after that I'll have green eyes.
We got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Are you going to wear those fake contacts? Is that what you're going to do?
I was going to wear my ramen noodles sweatshirt.
Nice.
You like that?
Yeah, I love that. And now we got the All-Star game coming up here, this weekend, right? And it's in Charlotte, Eytan.
Yes.
How psyched up do you think the NBA All-Star contingent is to go to Charlotte for a couple of nights?
Well, Charlotte's a pretty live city, man.
I like Charlotte. But as far as for an NBA town and NBA players, Charlotte is way down the list.
Well, I think that it's all what you make it, right? It's not Atlanta, and it's not going to be Vegas.
Not Miami.
It's not Miami. But I think it's better than a lot of other places. Like Charlotte has a good contingency of food. Like there's a good barbecue, and like there's a strong nightlife area that you can go out. All you need it's better than Milwaukee or Indianapolis.
Well, yeah, but the All-Star game never goes to Milwaukee or Indianapolis, does it?
No, I think this is probably more on the borderline and teetering of that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing that these guys can't get to their private jets fast enough to get the hell out of there.
Right. Well, it depends. I mean, you could always import the party. Tinder will probably be lit down in Charlotte, Harry.
Well, isn't it always?
Yeah, Jared D. Team has no cohesive flow to the offense. That said, big players need to make big plays. And this is the difference, man. This is why, Tobias misses the three, and you're still looking at a 6-point deficit. But, Harry, this is why you make the trade for Tobias Harris, and this is why you –
Ben hit a jump shot.
Look at that.
Ben hit a jump shot.
Stop the presses. Now you need the win.
Yeah.
Otherwise –
like a ball screen.
Well, I mean, it was an 8-foot shot, though. I mean, let's not say –
Hey, Baby steps.
I don't want to act like this is crazy here. He shot a 3 the other night. That was better than this.
He made this.
Well, this is an 8-foot shot. This is not even a jump shot. That's like a floater.
He was reticent to do that.
Okay, if you're happy that he's shooting floaters within 10 feet, then baby steps it is.
He's got floaters and every now and then a turnaround.
And then every now and again a turnover, too. That travel killed him.
Yeah.
But here you go now. A 4-point game. Man, that damn 3 from Embiid. Like, this is what's killing you here.
That's all this offense is.
At this point, Jared D. mentioned that 2 possessions ago, which is how lifeless this offense is. And there's no movement and there's no creativity on their sets. Like, this is where you can get something. This is where you get a big bucket off of a switch or off of a mismatch. And instead, it's off transition. They slow up and they turn around so Embiid can launch a 3 that he misses.
Now Embiid, this is awful. He looks terrible tonight.
That's a jump shot, by the way, what Jason Tatum just did.
Yeah.
None of this floater crap. All right?
Well, it's not the Southwest Philly floater.
No, not that.
No.
We haven't seen that in years. Jason Colletti, get the ball into Butler's hands. You know, you would think so at this point, right?
Yeah.
This is just disastrous.
But
they're looking for fouls.
He should have gone to the free throw line there.
Well, Boston's in the bonus with 3 minutes left. And
all right.
At this point, I'm just going after any Sixer if I'm Brad Stevens. Finally, you get a layup there. And 4 points after that miss. What do you think here? There you go.
Yeah. All right. N1.
2
now
straight.
There's a little energy.
Yeah, 2 straight offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Al Horford, man. Get him out of here.
Yeah, I know.
It's only his 3rd foul, though. 4th, sorry.
Is it his 4th?
Yeah, it's his 4th. Nobody's in foul trouble for the Celtics.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this. Embiid, here's the thing. Embiid's in the bonus. Or pardon me, the Celtics are in the bonus.
Embiid has 5 fouls.
That's my point here. There's your 3rd straight offensive rebound in this possession here, including off of Simmons' miss. You have to be able – something here needs to – there you go. That is something that's been missing all game.
Yeah, that's a power move right there.
Just being able to use your size and being able to take advantage of offensive rebounds, it just seems like when you have Embiid pulling from 3, trailing on a quasi-transitional play, you're giving up a lot of height down low. It's a big move by him.
He just knocked Horford right in the chest.
And Horford got called for the foul.
Right. He's got to make this. Nope. Yep. I thought it was short, but it got in.
Yeah, that's not a foul, by the way, but I'm not here to argue that.
I thought it would have been an okay no call, but I'll take it.
Jack Whiteside, in my mind, Sixers aren't contenders until they beat the Celtics. You know, listen, at this point, that's going to be
Hayward.
Clear. Yeah, Hayward just kills him right now.
He is just destroying them tonight.
Last chance if you want to jump in as the game winds down on the fan line. It's up there on the top. You can pop in. We'll see your face. You can talk and interact with Harry and I. It's a great way to further interaction. What's that?
5 of 6 from 3 is Hayward.
That was a big miss. I know. It was a big miss by Tobias Harris.
Yeah, he has not he's not played really well tonight either.
Oh, but you just need to play defense, man. You know, it's like, okay, you're down 2. You had a chance to get that 3, and then Redick gets called for the foul. That hurts you because we know that's going to put them on the line. It's just there was an opportunity. You just have to do this possession by possession. and you have to overcome. And it's like, okay, you're putting yourself in a tighter corner. You miss a three there, you can't foul. You have to play D. You have to get the ball back, and it's just tough. Marcus Smart's going to hit the second one now too, and boy, that was just Gordon Hayward, man.
It's a miss. You know, that right there. I hate that. Ben Simmons just dribbles the ball down to the three-point line and picks up his damn dribble. What is the point of that, Eytan? Please tell me what the –
They got the foul call.
Yeah, I know that. Never mind that bullshit. Tell me why he does that all the time. It drives me insane.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me either. He's not initiating anything. There's nothing
I don't need him to bring the ball up. Like I need him to get into the offense and get something going.
Right.
There's too many times where he just looks like he can't wait to get the ball out of his hands.
Well, that right there is Brett Brown, because Brett Brown is calling a play in which Ben Simmons brings the ball up, essentially gives a long-form handoff to Joel Embiid at the three-point line, and then the play calls for Jimmy Butler to come off movement and shoot the three. But that's it. It's like a quarterback handing the ball off and then just running 3-4 yards away from the play. That's what Ben Simmons is being asked to do there, and I don't agree with it.
Boy, a couple of big free throw misses here from Butler down the stretch.
Yeah, especially after getting that gift of being put on the line. This is difficult, man.
See the way they move the ball, and they've got the Sixers players just going all side to side, up and back. They're wearing them out on the on the Sixers defensive end.
Butler hits 1 of 3, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is disgusting. Yeah, there's constant movement. There's constant movement off picks. There's a guy that's always open. You notice that?
Yeah. And it's pretty much been Hayward. No, he didn't tip it.
No, it looked like he did at first. He did not.
He did not. No.
Here's where having a guy like Joel Embiid to slow something down, you don't need to – this is not 5 seconds left. This is under a minute, and you can take time to control the clock and get a bucket. Like, that's what you need right now. You're going to get the ball back twice. Just get a damn bucket, but do it your way. Like, don't force anything in this regard.
Well, they'll probably force a 3.
Well, Embiid is at 2 this quarter, so.
To me, this is where I get the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands.
If you can get a one-on-one with Embiid down low, there's no way Ben's going to touch that basketball.
Ben? No.
I'm looking to isolate and get Joel Embiid one-on-one down low with Al Horford. I have time. I have enough time on the clock where I should be able to do that, and not some stupid play in which Embiid is handing the ball off at the three-point line to Jimmy Butler. I'm not saying that I don't want Jimmy Butler shooting a 3. I'm just saying I have time now to tie the game up. I don't need to take the lead. All I need to do right now is tie the game up and put pressure on Boston.
Well, here you go. Well, he's not close enough, man. See, now that's awful. He's too far away. Horford moves him so far away from the lane. He needs to give the ball up there, and start again.
Well,
he's just begging to get fouled.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, Harry. I'm watching the possession again. He's just so far out.
Yeah. Now, he did get fouled.
Yeah.
He did. Wow. He doesn't get that call, huh?
I guess not.
It's pretty amazing.
They
gave him the call a couple of minutes ago that you and I both thought might have been a no call.
Well, they got two. I mean, Butler's two calls.
What, on the threes?
Boy, I tell you.
That looked like a foul to me.
I'm just watching it again and again.
That looked like a foul to me.
It looked like Horford got him first, but he pulled away, and by that point there was no contact where the ref saw it. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, we're out on this players only crap.
Yeah, it's just too many guys talking.
It really is. No, I think you can call a foul there. I do. I just don't. I don't like the idea of this game being bailed out on that call.
Well, I would take it.
I would as well, but I mean, let's be honest here.
Look at this. Now they got him out front playing point guard.
What's that? Well, Butler.
Now they got him.
Butler hits the three.
What? What game are you watching?
Hits a 3-foot shot is what I meant.
The foul on Tatum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now you get an and one if he can hit the freaking free throw.
Yeah.
You're going to have to foul and get a 3 at this point.
You're going to need overtime to have a chance to cover in this game.
6.5?
Yeah, it was at 5.5. I think it went up to 6.5, 7.
Yeah, this sucker is you're not going to cover. You're not going to cover anything. Yeah, this game, listen, Thurman, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I would have gladly accepted the foul. I mean, there were like 4 fouls beforehand that were questionable, and I don't know why they chose to call those 4 fouls, some of them going in the Sixers' favor, and not call that. Right. So there's definitely inconsistency with the officiating. I just think at this point, when you look at so many lost opportunities for this team to take the lead, to put themselves in a position where they needed a call, bailout or not, is not a good representation, I think, of this game tonight. Like, they were flat. They did not have the energy. All right, appreciate it, man. We look forward to seeing you at Parks too, brother.
You know what's incredible? They have 14 turnovers now. They only had 1 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
they had 13 turnovers after 3, so they tightened it up.
The 1 turnover came on that Simmons travel.
Right.
Celtics up 1, 16 seconds left. You have to imagine the Sixers are going to foul immediately. And now you can draw something up at the half. At this point, man, it's going to be tough.
What did you think of the tampering statement that came out today? Or the no tampering statement, I should say.
Yeah, I think that there's too much back and forth. There's too much he said about this, where you have stories coming out of LA that the Sixers are the ones who reached out, and Elton Brand / Sixers organization wanted Magic to help Ben Simmons. And then you have Elton Brand going on locally here and basically trying to, or if it's true, pushing it back to saying, no, this was a Lakers thing that they initiated. So
I thought it was Ben Simmons' people that initiated it.
Well, that's the thing, is that you have way too much gray area, I think, for the NBA to definitively rule and say that this was Magic Johnson picking the phone up and tampering.
Yeah, no, I don't think he did that, but I think, and obviously they didn't meet and they didn't, have the get together. So you can't say it's tampering, but it does. This is just another, one of these things where you're like, I'm telling you, man, he's got eyes on LA. There's something there, man. Like, that's not going to go away until he signs an extension. And I don't think he's hit enough of these rookie qualifiers yet this year to warrant signing the extension. So the funny thing that will happen is he won't sign the extension for basketball reasons, meaning he'll be in his own right, like any rookie,
that would be in his position to not sign the extension to lock him in on something where if he hits these qualifiers, he can make more money. But people will look at this and say, oh, it's just because he wants out to go to L.A.
Yeah.
And you know what? It might be one of the two. So
now you got to draw up a play here for JJ or Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or you could throw Tobias Harris into the mix too now.
You absolutely can.
Yeah, gives him another option.
Although he hasn't beats. All right, let's handicap this with who takes the 3. Butler 3-1. 3-2 odds on Jimmy Butler. 2-1 on Redick.
Say Redick 2-1. I like that.
3-1 Harris.
No, it's more than that.
5-1 on Harris.
It just better not be Embiid.
10-1 on Embiid. What do you think? 10-1 on Embiid?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I would say that.
1,000-1 Ben Simmons.
1,000.
Yeah, you want some people betting on that line, you know?
Man, I would say it's even more like 10,000.
Listen, the kid might hit a shot tonight, but I don't know if I'm drawing a play up for Tobias Harris. At this point, the guy's 0 for 5.
Yeah, he's 0 for 5 tonight.
I mean, I'd probably rather have 2 for 8 Joel Embiid. 2 for 8. 2 for 8, and Al Horford's guarding you down low. Something's wrong there. He's 2 for 8. Took 8 threes. Listen, Harry, you know me. I love Embiid shooting threes. But the fact that he took 8 threes tonight against Al Horford is mind-boggling.
I know. I agree.
And there you go, Tobias Harris. Oh! Offensive rebound. There you go.
Wow.
What do you think?
They couldn't have kicked that back out for another 3-point attempt?
Embiid's selfish. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I know you're kidding, but I'm just saying, like, why not there, turn back around and, fire it out to one of your guys on the perimeter? What did that do for you? Now you got a foul, right?
Right.
Then you're only going to have a second or 1 point, whatever, to get a shot off to try to tie it.
I don't know if Embiid thought that there wasn't enough time, but it was not a good decision to. I mean, he had Jimmy Butler to his right, curling. I'm looking at the replay now. First off, this is not a good shot by Tobias Harris. Terrible shot by Tobias Harris. And Jimmy Butler has Smart behind him, like not really looking. There was an opportunity. If you look at that on the film again, there's an opportunity for Joel Embiid to kick this thing out. But, again, I don't want to blame it. Like, I wouldn't blame it on that no call at the end with Horford. I'm not going to say at this point that that was the reason why they lost. But this team needs some work. They still need some work. This is a good representation tonight of that.
He had Butler off to his right.
Yes.
And then Harris to his left, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The easier pass would have been Butler, but again, I have more issue with the shot that Tobias Harris took because that was not a clean look than Embiid on the split decision.
Now who draws that up? That's a Brett Brown draw up there?
Yeah. Now, again, that might have gotten him a good look, but there needs to – it's almost like, hey, these plays are drawn up for one person to shoot, and then if that doesn't work, everybody looks around like, what do we do?
Right. Yeah, there's no options.
No. There really isn't. All right, you got 1 second left.
Yeah.
Tatum's going to hit at least one. This game, I hate to say it, is over. If I'm Tatum, I'm missing, right?
No, I would miss it too.
Hard right?
No, I try to let it just sort of bounce up around, sit around, bounce around on the rim a little bit.
Yeah, back end.
Kind of soft. Yeah. I think he was trying to miss it.
I think so too.
1.8. Now, what does Brett have here? What do you got?
Well, you're out of timeouts, so you can't advance it. Boy, that's
He didn't even get it off. He didn't get that off.
Nope.
Wow.
That's really difficult to watch, huh?
What a bust.
Jesus, man.
What a bust.
What the hell was that?
Jesus.
What was that?
Man. Just, uninspired.
This really was – it was, man. And I agree. It was there was something about this game tonight where hanging around – like it just was a very difficult energy game at home in which fans and team alike just didn't feel like – it felt like there was nerve. It felt like there were more nerves in the stadium than anything else. Like people were legit nervous about tonight.
Well, I get the fan base is always nervous for the Celtics. I get that. But this team shouldn't be.
Right.
Right?
It's true. The team should not be, and the fact that you have a legit team like this it's something to look at in the postseason, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do they got? 25, 26 more games to go?
It's enough time to get better than the Celtics, but it does leave some room for how much this team can actually play versus the Raptors and Bucks. Jason says the play design was terrible to dump it into Embiid. JJ open coming off the screen. Real talk here from Barr. Between the playoffs and tonight, how much of this is Brad Stevens better than Brett? I think a lot of what you saw tonight was that.
Yeah, well, we saw that in full display last year in the playoffs. That was painfully obvious. That was like that Captain Obvious dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got an opportunity now to shape up, at the very least, with the Knicks before the break. But
yeah, how much desire are they going to have to play that game?
Yeah, but
they're already in the break in their mind.
But you don't need
much desire.
Sit 4 people, you'll still beat the Knicks. I think tonight was a disappointment for fans. Tonight was one of those games where you look at this and say, you know what? This was more about the fans and an opportunity for them to get a real full display of this new look team against a good basketball squad in the Celtics. And they just didn't live up to it. They didn't.
Yeah, I know they beat Denver the other night. What was it, Thursday or Friday night last week? And Denver's a good team, but they're not really good on the road.
Right.
The Celtics are different. They're just such a battle-tested team, and you got all the scar tissue from the playoff series, in the past, last season, and even beyond that you're just like, there's so much to overcome, with this team that you were expecting just a better effort out of the Sixers tonight. I was massively disappointed with their games against Toronto and Boston at home in the last 7 days. I mean, could you attribute the Toronto game as to they know it's right before the deadline and some players are kind of –
No, because that was a national game too. Wasn't that ESPN? That was a national game as well.
It was.
So that's what I'm saying is you've got 2 times in which they're national games at home against teams that are at the very least better than you last year, and you laid eggs.
Measuring stick games.
Yes. Now, you and I are back Thursday. That's a week from this Thursday. So next Thursday against the Heat. That's when we'll be back here, okay? So that's a good one, and another test there for the Sixers to not come out flat. But make sure everybody out there, you stay tuned to the Fancred app to make sure and just to confirm. But Harry and I should be back a week from this Thursday. So that's next Thursday as the Sixers return from the break to take on the Miami Heat.
Yeah, and hopefully our flus will be gone.
Man, at this point, anything.
And this has hung around for 2 weeks.
It's Atlanta. I'm blaming Atlanta. Whatever the hell happened in Atlanta, we took back with us. Right.
It's that goddamn Airbnb.
You see? We should have known better. We should have known better. All right, make sure that you stay tuned on the Fancred app. We appreciate everybody for hopping on and interacting with us. And yes, Ed Kane reminds us the Flyers are winning, so it's not all bad tonight. But let's be honest, this was a disappointing loss from the 76ers standpoint, from the fans who were down there standpoint, because this is now supposed to be a beatable Boston team. This is supposed to be a winnable game against the Boston Celtics, and instead you got more of the same. So yes, there's 20-plus games left for this squad to figure it out. There's 20-plus games left for for Brett Brown to figure this thing out. Hopefully, by next Thursday, when Harry and I are back, this team will have a little more life in them and a little more energy in them. But until then, we've got the Knicks and the All-Star break to think this thing over. All right, Harry?
Yes, sir.
At Harry Mays TU is how you follow him on Twitter. At Shander Show for me. And again, make sure you stay tuned to everything going on the Fancred app. Thanks to Laura producing the show tonight. We are back next Thursday with the Miami Heat.